Hello everyone. Hi there. YouTube says I'm live, so I guess I gotta believe it. I think I am. I should be. Let's see real quick. Sorry for the slight delay, but I just got home. A little bit later than expected. Sometimes it's just the way it is. What can you do? But now I'm here. And I am... Oh, is that too long? Maybe it is too long. What's he talking about? Everyone is asking. Ricardo, hi. How are you doing? Let's see, is that okay? I think it's okay. Nah. I think it's too long. Dave, what are you talking about? Your dongle? No, I'm not talking about my dongle. I'm talking about the link that I want to post. Diane Penley. Hi, Diane. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining the stream. So, what I wanted to post is this. And, let's see. No, I don't want to post an emoji. No, I want to stick the message. Like this. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like that, I guess. Hope it works. Yeah. I can't post all of the sources, the streaming sources for the album, unfortunately, into this pinned message right here in the chat because YouTube, essentially. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. I hope you are... Oh. Warnung. Warnung. Die Warnung. The warning. Warnung. Die aktuelle Bitrate des Streams. I have to adjust the bitrate, I guess. Well, if that... Yeah, why not? Maybe like this? Maybe. I don't know. This should be better. Oh no, it can be even higher. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm really sorry, guys. Just have to adjust a few things real quick. Let's see. Yeah, let's try this. Let's try this. Hope it works. All right. In case you're experiencing problems with the stream, feel free to let me know, because I'm doing this on the fly. Okay, so let's get back to you guys. Okay, so plan for today. Another new album listening party. It's the first time in quite a while. The last one was for the album Richter und Henker, which I think I did in September. So it's been a while, you know. And also, I effed up my beginning. I wanted to begin this video in a certain way because, yeah, I had a little bad pun, bad joke, sort of, in my head right before I started the stream. But yeah. So, maybe I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. Because I thought, you know, if the Rolling Stones, the band that is, had made this album that we're gonna listen to today, in a few moments from now, they would have sung I Can't Techno. Da da da. I'm really sorry. You know what? Wait. I have a soundboard. So I think that applies, right? I think it does. All right, everyone. I'm sorry. With that being said, I like it, you know. I like bad puns. Anyway, what will we be listening to today? you actually know it from the video's title, the live stream's title, but just for das Protokoll, the protocol, I'm gonna mention it, because we're about to listen to the Tekkno album by Electric Callboy. Not Eskimo Callboy, even though the video to We Got the Moves says so, because that was the previous band name, but, you know, that's not the actual band name right now, because they rebranded themselves, they renamed themselves to Electric Callboy. Still a Callboy, but a different one. Anyway, the puns are the stuff I'm here for. Oh, that's awesome, Rick. I love that. Love to hear that. Anyway, in order for us to listen to this album, and this is the important part before we're gonna actually listen to it, those of you who have tuned into my previous album listening parties will know how this works. And I'm well aware that this isn't the perfect, optimal solution, I know, but it's the only, you know, workable solution, if that makes sense. Pragmatical solution that I can think of in order to have this video, this stream, this album listening party online. Because believe me, I've had my fair share of problems with music reactions in the past. Not just with, you know, Electric Callboy, but also with We Got the Moves, which I had to upload like 4 times until I had some really heavily edited version that can stay online. Yeah, there was a little bit like a pain in the butt, as you can imagine. And for that very reason, and by the way, I'm not blaming the band, because most of the time it's not the band's decision, it's the management's decision, the label's decision, you know, how to deal with those kinds of things on YouTube especially. So I'm not blaming the band, don't you worry. But it's the way it is, you know, gotta be honest. And therefore, we're gonna listen to this album synchronized. You won't hear the actual music in my stream, but you can play it synchronized, because I'm gonna count you in for each song like this. 3, 2, 1, play. Or 3, 2, 1, play. So that is how it works. And we're gonna... Wow, I'm sorry. We're gonna listen to this, and I'm gonna use the Spotify version. And the big advantage of that is that you can see where I'm at within the song down below. So if there's gonna be a troublesome connection, for instance, you know, if there's trouble joining me and getting synchronized again, you can always see where I'm at in the song down here. And for that matter, you can actually find all the links to the albums, if you want to stream them, in the video description down below, which you can open now. And if you have 2 screens, for instance, you can watch my stream, my listening party on one screen. And, you know, if you want to do it like me, like I do it, on the second screen, I have, in this case, Spotify, aka the streaming provider, open with the album to listen to. And all you have to do is click play in the right moment. So, once again, I know it's not the perfect solution, and I'm really, really sorry for this, but that's the only way I can do it and upload it on YouTube and have it online permanently, hopefully. We'll see. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. And, well, it's a short album, and I was pretty surprised by that, to be honest. I mean, I know a few shorter albums, don't get me wrong. When you think of Meteora by Linkin Park, for instance, 36 minutes. Hybrid Theory, the first album by them, also like 36-ish minutes, I think, 35. So, pretty short by today's standards. But then again, the shorter an album, the higher the replay appeal, maybe, if it's a good one, you know, if you enjoy it thoroughly. And to be honest, you know, when you take a look at the world of hip-hop, for instance, or rap, that's pretty common to have really short songs and therefore kind of short albums, you know, but maybe with a lot of replay value. And we're going to find that out. There are a few very familiar song titles, I have to say, but I've only listened to 1 or 2 songs off of this album. So the vast majority is totally new to me. At least I think so. Okay, so that is that. And I'd say let's begin slowly but surely. So I'm going to listen to each song, or let me rephrase this. I'm going to listen to one song. After the song's ended, I'm going to pause. I'm going to talk a little bit about the song. And then we're going to move on to the next one. And once we've listened to all the songs and the album itself, respectively, I'm going to give my album review. What I like about it, what I may not like about it, you know, because I don't know yet. We'll find out. Let's see. I want to have this chat right here. Like this, yeah. All right, everyone. So, once again, one last time, as a little information for you, how this is going to work, you can find links to the streaming versions of this album in the video description down below and pinned in the comment here live in the chat. And we're going to listen to the album simultaneously. You're not going to hear the music on stream, but you can play or hit the play button for the respective song when I count you in. 3, 2, 1, play. Like that, right? So, I'd say, without further ado, let's see. Gonna change the audio source real quick. This is working just fine, I think. Shuffle is off. That's a mistake that I actually made a few album listening parties ago. And I don't want to repeat that. Nothing against shuffle mode, but not for a first time listen of an album, for me personally. All right. So, hope you are ready, because I sure am. Let's see. Okay. I guess we're in for a ride. So, if I know a song already, I'm going to tell you. Let's see. This is working fine. Okay, so let's begin with the first song off of the album Tekkno by Electric Callboy from Castrop-Rauxel. And I've also mentioned that city, and I've talked a little bit about them and, you know, them coming from Castrop-Rauxel in my We Got the Moves reaction, which was a lot of fun as well. Just so you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Electric Callboy with the first song off of the album Tekkno. And the song's title is Pump It. And we're going to listen to this one in 3, 2, 1, play. Already very poppy, but I like it. They have a great feel for catchy melodies and breakdowns. I love the little rhythmic details of the bass drum and everything, the production itself. Some growling in there. Love me some growling. This could become my new catchy tune, to be honest. I love it. Mmm. I don't want to kill the butch. And that was the song Pump It by Electric Callboy. And I really appreciate that they ended the song like that. Because they could have easily, ended the song with the chorus, which is arguably the most catchiest, catchiest part of the song. Excuse me. Wow. They, like I said during the song, and that's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw in some immediate thoughts. I try to hold it down a little bit and to give my full perspective, my first impression after the song. But I just gotta say, they really have a great sense for melodies and melodic progressions, I feel. I also realized that when I listened to We Got the Moves for the first time, that is one of their strengths, I think, and I really dig that, because to me, when I'm listening to music, and it doesn't matter if it's like progressive death metal or if it's pop or whatever, I always listen for a melodic hook, like something that gets me hooked, something that resonates with me, right? And to me, lyrics come second, pretty much almost always. To me, it's really about sometimes just the sound of words, to be honest, the phonetics. So I couldn't really tell you what the song is about, therefore, but I remember this day and night, da 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 da. It's I've listened to it once, but it's still stuck in my head. Yeah, that's what it is. And the song is really motivating getting up. Yeah, I can imagine that. That's a great opener. I mean, it definitely sets the tone. And it definitely, from someone who vaguely knows about Electric Callboy and the type of music they play, this definitely delivers. This definitely sets the tone and is, a conclusion almost, even though it's the first song, of their style and what they are all about and what people like about them, right? All right, Pump It. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I'm gonna talk about that once we've listened to all the songs on this album and I give my full album review. But to me, you could even argue, in a weird way, even though they are damn catchy and poppy for, metalcore standards or metal standards in general, which isn't a bad thing in my book, by the way, they could be seen as sort of a progressive band. Maybe that's a hot take, I don't know, but they definitely play a crossover style of pop sensibilities, poppy music and metal, and that's awesome. I love it. When it's done great, it can be very good, and this is done great in pretty much all aspects. Mike Lianas, I hope I didn't butcher your name. Hi, Mike. Thanks for tuning in. And Adrian Duiku just subscribed. Hi, Adrian. Thank you very much for doing that. All right, everyone. Song number 2. We got the moves. I already know. I already know the song, but I'm really looking forward to listening to it again. I think you do too, because it's awesome. And even though, gotta be honest, this is gotta be the first time of me listening to the song without watching the video simultaneously. Because I first actually heard the song when I reacted to it on this channel. You can watch that video in the end card. So let's listen to We Got the Moves by Electric Callboy. Shall we? I think we shall. In 3, 2, 1, play. Thank you, Mike. Good to know. Oh no, I have to do it this way. We got the moves. This chorus gets me every time. Away. It reminds me of Modern Talking. It's a German Schlager pop band, sort of. But in a good way, in this case. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rick. That's true. We got the groove. Mm-hmm. I also like the offbeat of the hi-hat. Very danceable. We'll never fade away. That hook line at the end of the second chorus is so awesome. Da, 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 da. I love it. It's little details like that. Oh no, it comes to the scooter part. H.P. Baxter would be proud. The vocal rhythm and everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. La 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 la. Da 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 da. Mm-hmm. Never fade away. Ooh. That was We Got the Moves. You know, it's... Shall I say it? Maybe I think I should. To me, this song has become one of the best German pop metal tracks I've ever listened to. Really. Like, I like everything about it. It has the perfect length. It has great little rhythmic details. Like I said, the offbeat hi-hat in the chorus. You know, that beat. Very danceable. Just little details like that. And the whole production value. You know, it's not the sound of every instrument, which is really clear and really well balanced, I feel. And on top, you know, like I said, they just have a good sense of melody and melodic harmonic progression, you know, both basically, and arrangement. And talking about arrangement, you know, how a song is composed in a literal sense, what it's composed of and in which way. Especially toward the end, this little staccato, chopped off rhythms, you know, mixed with the double bass patterns in between. I really appreciate, as someone who listens to, you know, creative, I love to listen to creative music. Doesn't have to be overly complex, but I also love listening to, you know, prog rock, prog metal, Porcupine Tree, Opeth, those types of bands, Tool, you know, I love that stuff. But this is a perfect example of how you can make a great listening experience with lots of intricacies while still being very accessible sounding, if you know what I mean, right? It's an interesting mixture. And once again, it harkens back to what I just said for Pump It. In a way, you could argue this is a progressive style of music. It's not, you know, like odd time meters, you know, odd meters every 8 bars or something like that. Doesn't have to be. It's just the mixture itself is awesome. And that is what really gets me. And once again, like I said, the chorus melody, and by the way, just from listening to it, I always heard he was talking about a solid bitch, but now I realize he's talking about a sunny beach, which is, you know, like I said, lyrics come second for me. I'm sorry. Anyway, great. This is one of the best. I'm gonna say it on stream, on cam. I think We Got the Moves by Electric Callboy is one of my favorite metal songs produced by a German artist ever. There, I said it. I stand by my word. So, Rev Jane Smith, hi, thanks for tuning in. Brace yourself, you're only on track 2. I know, Ray Jane, yeah, I know. But I'm in it. I'm in for the ride. So, the pigeoning or uptauben, what? By the way, I guess you need the metal sound clip on your soundboard. Yeah. Before we're gonna jump into the third song, real quick, what Rick Ardo is referring to in the chat, this metal, is a little snippet that I keep getting suggested on YouTube, which is I think is it Apollon? I think his name is, who's a gray parrot. And I love watching his videos because he is basically trained to name certain objects like glass, metal, or block, or Shrek, and something like that. It's totally funny and a really, really cool bird. I've always been fascinated by parrots. And he also says, you know, what's that made of? Metal. And it sounds so cute. I love it. Sipping on booze on a sunny beach. Yeah, that's what he said, I guess. Yeah. Makes total sense. I mean, technically, that's possible, you know? So, anyway, let's continue with song number 3 with the very sophisticated title Fuckboi, featuring Conquer Divide, who I only know by name. Don't think I have listened to them yet. So let's check this out in 3. I love this. 3, 2, 1, play. I love this album reaction so far. Oh yes, I've listened to this one. I think this was one of the first experiences that I had with Electric Callboy, because this got played a little bit on Radio Bob, one of my favorite radio stations playing rock and metal in Germany. And they play all the new stuff. Recommended. Not sponsored, but you know. Anyway. Nice little fill. Really punchy bass drum sound. Oh, yes. That's an awesome pre-chorus. Yeah, I remember this one. Da-da-da-da. Love the synth bass. That's really cool. It got that Avril Lavigne vibe in a good way. Good hard way. Yeah. True. A little bit of pop punk. And Paramore. Ooh. The rap breakdown. Appreciate it. They harmonize really well together. They should do more songs together. And that was song number 3, Fuckboi, featuring Conquer Divide. And yes, Ricardo, you are totally right. She reminded me heavily of Avril Lavigne. And what's Haley something of Paramore, the singer? Definitely a fitting vocal, like a tonal quality and addition to the sound of the band, I feel. Like I said just a few seconds ago, I feel like they should do more together. And they definitely harmonize. You know? It's a cool mixture. And it's a good... You know, to me, this song is only 2 minutes and 44 seconds long. And it doesn't feel short. It feels exactly right to me. I mean, that's a very subjective thing. I know that. But it's not a song that feels long, like... because it isn't long. Haha. Yeah. Okay. Pun not intended, but you know. Anyway, it doesn't feel short to me. It feels exactly right. You know. You could argue that the ending may become... It may happen a little bit abrupt. But, you know. Definitely, you know, 3 out of 3 awesome tracks so far. Those ladies know how to work rock. They opened for Electric Callboy when they were in the US last year and started rocking Los Angeles right away. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I know they're Yeah, I know the band name Concrete Divide. I stumbled across that like a few times, but I haven't really paid too much attention to them yet. Not because I'm not interested, just because it didn't happen. Maybe I have to give them a listen. Maybe I should do that. Because, I do like me some Paramore. I do like me some Avril Lasagne, Lavigne. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it again. We got them. Yeah, okay. No, we're not gonna do that. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. Anyway, now, this is a German-German collaboration coming up because it's Electric Callboy from Castrop Rauxel, as we know now, featuring FiNCH. And FiNCH, FINCH, is an abbreviated, like a shortened form of find ich, in a very slang way, slang expression, FiNCH, find ich asozial. I find that asocial. I find that to be, well, to put it in English actually, I don't know. I'm not sure. Asocial, asozial, a little bit, yeah, not according to the standard polite way of living, if that makes sense. Anyway, gonna stop talking, gonna listen to the music. This is Spaceman. I don't think I listened to this yet. I could be wrong, though. This is a longer song with 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And yeah, anyway, this is Spaceman featuring FiNCH. In 3, 2, 1, play. I'm not sure. I think I... I remember that chorus. I think I heard that somewhere, but I don't remember the rest of the song. Rave Attack. All those thick guitar walls, harkening back to Meteora by Linkin Park, the early nu metal production. Scooter! Yes. My religion is rave. That's an H.P. Baxter line. Could be. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Love it. Viva the engine! Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Man. What? Okay. Didn't understand what they said at the end there, but anyway, that was Spaceman featuring FiNCH. And it's also a match made in heaven, I think. Similar to the music styles, the match of them made in heaven, hell, maybe both. I don't know, but I like it. And I couldn't help but think, especially once again, they definitely have. I mean, let me say it this way: people that don't like this type of music, or this mixture of music, this approach, this band, they may argue that, well, it's one formula they apply to every single song. The heavy-ish breakdowns, the heavy-ish verses, and the really catchy poppy chorus. And yes, they do have a formula, but for what the music wants to be, if that makes sense, it works. Why should they do it differently? There's no reason to do it differently. It just works like this. And that is what they do best, I guess. And on another note, the lyrics were totally all over the place, as you expect with FiNCH. Nothing against him, quite the opposite. I actually enjoy listening to him. He also made a few songs with the mentioned band as part of these lyrics, Scooter, H.P. Baxter, who I'm gonna see them live this year, by the way, for the first time. I'm really, really looking forward to that in about a month from now. Anyway, when I listened to the chorus, I couldn't help but think of, da 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 da. It reminded me. I don't know what it is. It reminded me of like a Disney movie melody, like a theme song. Or then it also reminded me of what's their name? Harry Saurus. Do you know Heavy Saurus? The band? Heavy Saurus? It's basically a metal band for kids. And they play metal, but with, family-friendly lyrics for children and everything. It's a great, great concept. And they're really successful, actually. They found their niche. Yeah, they definitely do. And did, and will do. Mike. Yeah. And they know what they can do very well, and they just play it out. And to be honest, if I were them, I would do it the same way. So, it's awesome. I love it. Ah, man. That's a really... that is a really, really strong beginning of an album. And what do I say beginning? It's almost halfway through the album already, but I love it. And I like all of them, to be honest. And I wonder if I will also like song number 5, Mindreader, which is a really cool and intriguing song title in my book. And I hope in yours as well. I guess, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, this is song number 5, Mindreader by Electric Callboy. In 3, 2, 1, play. Maybe it's time for a ballad now. Do they have ballads? They don't strike me as a ballad type of band. It's mainly electronic song, maybe? Longer intro. Interesting. Didn't expect that. Okay. Little bit less on the poppy side, this one. But it's a nice dynamic balance in between the album, you know, regarding the dynamic of everything. Oh, that was a nice fill. Oh no. We're getting down now. Dun, 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 dun. The elephants from Such a Shame have a return, yeah. They have. La, 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 la. But even this one. All right. That was Mindreader, song number 5 on the Tekkno album by Electric Callboy. And I gotta say, this one was less poppy, less on the poppy side of things, and I actually have to adjust this like this, which doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it less. Let me put it this way. Quite the opposite. I think it's a nice flow to the album, you know, the whole sequencing, which is something that sort of goes lost in today's day and age very often, because many people don't listen to full albums anymore. They listen to various songs by different artists in one playlist or multiple playlists, and that's it. They are on shuffle mode 24/7. And I also listen to shuffle, you know, songs on shuffle in my playlists quite often, regularly actually, but I also listen to albums every now and then. Still, because I like the journey of listening to an album, and I don't know if they are that sort of band that thinks about the sequencing that heavily, like which song is the first one, which song should be the second one because it flows best, you know, something like that. And by the way, that's the same things that bands think about when they compile for a concert, you know, for a tour. They of course have to come up with a set list, and they, as far as I know, many bands, I guess, often discuss, well, should we do this song before that song, or the other way around? What's best, you know? Which flow is better? And in that sense, Mindreader was, like I said, it was less poppy compared to the first 4 songs, but therefore it was it added a new flavor without being too different, if that makes sense, which I definitely enjoy. I sometimes, maybe it's just my old ears, or what else, you know, I don't know. But I sometimes have I'm struggling with understanding what he screams sometimes, which once again is not a bad thing, just, you know, stating that Sometimes I don't really fully understand what he sings about. But I don't think, and once again, I don't mean that in a negative way whatsoever, I don't think, yet to me personally, that doesn't make the whole, music listening experience worse. Doesn't worsen that. Because I definitely enjoy it for what it is. So it's definitely interesting. I almost I almost expected like a ballad type of song after four on the floor, heavier type of songs, faster type of songs. I don't know if they have ballads, maybe they are a sort of band that doesn't play ballads? I don't know. Would be interesting to hear like an acoustic ballad from Electric Callboy, something like that. Or like an unplugged set even, MTV Unplugged Electric Callboy. Certainly won't happen, I don't think, but because MTV doesn't play music anymore. Yeah, sad but true. Anyway, definitely cool. Not my favorite song, gotta be honest. Not my favorite song on the album so far, but still a very, very cool song. Like all of them so far. And this is song number 6. It's called Arrow of Love by Electric Callboy. And it goes like this. In 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, this is gonna be a banger, a catchy banger. I know it, I feel it, I sense it. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, Mike. Interesting. Nope. I like the vocoder effect here on the vocals. Da, 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 da. The stereo imaging is interesting, especially when it comes to the vocal mix. Because the vocals are pretty much mixed up front, which is not the case in every style of metal music, I don't think. But it's a vocal melody heavy band, so makes sense. This also sounds like a Scooter metal version. And I totally dig that. Oh. I like that. That was a nice synth sound. Da, 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 da. Ah, that was Arrow of Love by Electric Callboy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once again, the vocal melodies. I love them. Yeah, I love them. Um, and what I also really dig about this one is the use of a vocoder, which is the vocal effect, if you will, that you can hear at the start of the chorus. You know, it's hard to describe in words, but it sounds like an electric voice almost, even though it isn't. It's like an effect, sort of. And I always enjoyed that. You know, pretty much every single time I listen to something. There's a famous song that many people only know, like a little segment of. Let me put it this way, which is "Hide and Seek" by Imogen Heap, I think her name is, which is this "Ooh, what you say, ooh, but you only meant well when." That is a vocoder song. It's an a cappella vocoder song, and it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful track, and people should check it out. You should check it out if you enjoy the sound of that vocal delivery, that vocal production in this song, and those parts. You may enjoy that. Anyway, back to Arrow of Love. There was one little segment in the bridge section which I also really enjoyed because it sounded more like 80s synths, keyboard sounds, which I really am a big fan of. I love synth wave and those kinds of retro synth sounds and retro synth songs. Blinding Lights, maybe the most internationally well-known example of that by The Weeknd. Stuff like that. I love it. Funka Vogt have mastered the vocoder vocals. Okay, don't know them. And Mike also said they worked with Saltatio Mortis with Hyper Hyper that uses classical instruments. Yeah, I haven't really listened to Hyper Hyper yet. I guess I need to do that at some point. Like I said, I'm new to the band still by the time of this recording. Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed out. I'm going to talk about that a little bit after we've listened to the album as a whole. And anyway, yeah, 6 songs, all pretty cool so far. I dig them. Let's check out Parasite, an interesting song title, that is. Song number 7 in 3, 2, 1, play. So very electronic. Like up until now, it could be a Scooter song. Once again, the offbeat hi-hat. Interesting vocal progression there. But I like the build up from the verse to the chorus. Climatic progression. You're like a parasite. I really need you to stay. Interesting relationship there. Ah. Oh, nice. Mm. That was a great break section, both. All right, that was Parasite. We're almost like, it's like 3 songs left, which is, and one song of is only 1 minute and 39 seconds long. Interesting. Anyway, that was Parasite by Electric Callboy, and Rick Ardo wrote. I did not listen to that many songs from the time with Sushi, the singer before Nico, but I feel the band is more complete in presentation since then, because in older songs, Kevin's screams and growls seemed like a gimmick they're using here and there, cause Sushi did it most of the time by himself, but together with Nico's clean vocals, it feels more like just a good addition. Yeah, I can't really say too much about that yet, because I'm not familiar with the old stuff at all. But I heard that. I mean, Rick in the chat and me were really good friends, so we've actually talked about the band. He actually saw them live a few weeks ago in Berlin, like 2 weeks ago, maybe ish, sort of, I think. And he really enjoyed that show. Maybe we're gonna talk about that in our podcast, by the way, which is titled Custom or Custom for you. Cast It's like cast from podcast apostrophe blank em cast them podcast. And while we're at it, I also have a podcast which I do from time to time. It's the German podcast. Feel free to listen to this. I also talk about music, movies, series, life in general, and so on, in German most of the time. But I'm also open for recording a few English episodes every now and then with guests. And if everything works out and we find the time, there may be a guest that is sort of, how should I put it? He's sort of affiliated with a certain band. I'm not gonna name any names, but tease, hint, hint. Anyway, yeah. Parasite. To be honest, I want to be honest with you. I really enjoyed this one, even though it wasn't one of my favorites necessarily compared to the other. But that is that just means that all the other songs are really strong so far. And I'd say Mindreader and Parasite are my comparatively least favorite ones so far. But that doesn't mean that I don't like them. I like them a lot, actually. I like all of these songs a lot so far. So it's just that, it's not overtly poppy. It's poppy, but not too poppy or extremely poppy. Let me say it this way. Very nice breakdown session, like a little sequence that they had with really awesome small different groove segments, which I really enjoyed. Rev Jane Smith says, "We butter the bread with butter's version of Hyper Hyper is hilarious. We butter the bread with butter is another great band, very tongue-in-cheek at times." Yeah, maybe I should give them a chance as well. to be honest with you, and I know that sounds superficial, and in a way it is, but I didn't really want to listen to that band yet because I honestly think I'm not the biggest fan of that band name, to be honest. Like, to me, music is... Should I go there yet? No, I'm going to talk about that in the review of the album. Anyway, but maybe that's just me personally. If I were to name a band, I wouldn't name them We Butter the Bread with Butter. But, doesn't say anything about the quality and the band members. I'm sure they're really, really nice people. But, a band name like that doesn't really invite me to listen to them directly, if that makes sense. But maybe that's just me, and that is totally fine, And I know what you mean with understanding Kevin's vocals is a bit difficult because it's well baked into the instrumental, but in a positive way. Yeah, it is. That is a very good, summary of what I wanted to say. I said that the vocals, they are more mixed in the foreground compared to other heavy bands, I feel, with this, which also comes down to, a pop sensibility, like a strong poppy vocal delivery, especially in the choruses. But sometimes, the growls, or in that case, sometimes also more screamy-ish, shoutish vocals, pretty hard to hear at times. Pretty hard to make out what exactly he's saying. But that, it's not a bad thing for me personally, necessarily, because like I said, lyrics come second, and sometimes it's just the sound of something that either appeals to me or it doesn't, and in this case, it totally does. So nothing wrong with that, necessarily. Anyway, and what I also thought about when I listened to Parasite just a few seconds ago, the whole sound palette of this album is really homogeneous. Like, it's really equal. It's metal, electronica, pop, mixed with sort of, like with FiNCH, for instance, hip-hop-ish elements even, and also techno, definitely. Like, they definitely have their sound palette going on and going strong on this album. And I do dig that. I personally like both. Like, I like when bands are really experimental and every song on an album sounds differently, which is the case for instance, Radiohead, for instance, or the Smile, the second band of Tom York and Johnny Greenwood, which is also awesome. Or Steven Wilson, solo artist and also known for being the main guy in Porcupine Tree, guitarist and singer. And Steven Wilson just released an album last year called The Harmony Codex, and every single song on that album has a different sound. Not two songs sound alike. So that is the opposite to this. But both albums are good in their own way. This album, where is it? There. This album doesn't want to be that experimental in that sense that every song has to sound the same, differently, sorry. And it doesn't need to be, It works the way it is. It follows a formula, like I said, but it does it really well and really consequent, right? Consequently. And I do appreciate that when musicians, artists, bands do that, personally. Adam Sandström, hi. Thanks for tuning in, Adam. Not really a fan of this band, but it's fun to see what others think of it. Yeah. I'm certainly becoming a fan, or I have become a fan, with listening to these past 7 songs so far. I can say that. Mr. Spock, guten Morgen, Dave, alles fit im Schritt, bitte auf Deutsch. Okay, before we're gonna listen to the next song, real quick, because Mr. Spock, he's a longtime viewer, and every single time he joins the stream, he's asking me to say how I'm doing in German for a moment, and I'm gonna do that just for him and for you guys. So, switch over to German, to Deutsch. Mir geht es sehr gut. Vielen Dank für die Frage. Ich habe sehr viel Spaß, denn ich höre gerade ein Album zum ersten Mal von der Band Electric Callboy. Ich weiß nicht, ob du die kennst. Das ist eine Metalband aus Deutschland, aus der Stadt Castrop-Rauxel. Ja, es ist ein sehr interessanter Städtename, aber die Stadt heißt wirklich so. Und ich kenne bisher von der Band nur so 1, 2 Songs und das war's. Und ich höre dieses Album, Tekkno, zum ersten Mal. Es ist sehr, sehr, sehr geil. Also mir gefällt es wirklich sehr, sehr gut. Ich hätte eigentlich schon viel früher mal da reinhören müssen. Aber ich werde noch ein bisschen was dazu gleich erzählen, wenn ich mit dem Album fertig bin. Und ein kleines Review geben werde. Und ansonsten geht es mir auch sehr, sehr gut. Ich hoffe dir auch, ich hoffe euch auch. Also vielen Dank für die Nachfrage. And now I'm gonna switch over to English. Back. Like that. Alright. Some German thrown in there. Let's continue with sort of the title track, but not really, because this song is titled Tekkno Train. Alright. Choo choo. Let's listen to this one. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Let's listen to this one in 3, 2, 1, play. This sounds promising. Ooh. I love the synth bass sounds they have. Really thick and powerful sounding. Destination love, with the pleasure up above. And there was a German reference, by the way, Dinner for One. It's a popular show in Germany for New Year's Eve. But it's not popular in anywhere else in the world, apparently. Even though it's in English. It's strange, I know. Was that a single? Yeah, that wouldn't happen in Germany. A train arriving ahead of schedule. Ooh, I like that. Choo 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 choo. Whoa, I need to stop that because the song is over. That was Tekkno Train. Okay, that threw me off guard. Totally. Choo 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 choo. Choo 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 choo. More growly and everything. I love it. That was awesome. I could have expected this, knowing that this is Electric Callboy and this is how they roll, quite literally speaking, because, you know, train rolling and... Yeah, you know, just saying. Anyway, yeah, I was just asking if this was a single because it has more listens than pretty much some other songs on the album. And Rick Ardo says it was a single, but it came after the album's release. Oh, it came out after the album's release. Interesting. Okay. Okay. CHOO has me. Yeah. If only you were watching the video, you would understand how funny that was. CHOO. Okay. I mean, it's not too late to watch the video. Not in this stream, not today, but in general, I could maybe react to it even. Who knows? We'll see. Death Eater 1. Hi, by the way. And no, not now. To answer your question. I'm really sorry. Anyway, nothing personal. He was asking if I can listen to his music. No, not now. Now we're listening to Electric Callboy. That's the album of the day. So, this one, yeah, this is one of the stronger songs on the album, I feel. Definitely a good one, once again. Has all the trademark sounds of the band. Love it. Love it, love it. The choo-choo-choo. That, like, wow. I would have done the same. You know, if I had composed a song titled Techno Train, you have to do this. And the important thing, or the interesting thing maybe rather, they mentioned, was it in this song or was it in Parasite? I think it was in this, right? Dinner for One. Dinner for One is, maybe I should do a video about that at some point. I haven't done that yet. Dinner for One is sort of a German ritual. It's like a theater play from the early 60s that was shot in color, but that was decolored afterwards. And it was filmed with 2 British actors playing a butler and an elderly lady celebrating her, it's like 98th birthday on her own without her friends, and the butler is going round and round from seat to seat, drinking and pretending to be her friends. It's a funny sketch, basically, a theater sketch. And even though that was filmed it was filmed in Hamburg, but with British theater actors. That's the way it is, right? I think. In the early 60s. And it has become sort of a German ritual to watch that on New Year's Eve. You know, the whole family and everything. And I think they made a reference to that by mentioning Dinner for One. So Germans, when they hear that, they know, okay, Dinner for One, what that is. And maybe this is sort of one of those hints that, you know, that may tell us that they are from Germany, you know? Because I also listen for that when I listen to these things, you know. It's interesting. Adam asks, will you do more after this album? Do you mean more reaction videos and more album listening parties for Electric Callboy and other bands? Yeah, I guess so. Same procedure as last year. Yeah, as last year. It's British. Last year. The same procedures every year, James. She's answering then. So, yeah, it's so funny seeing you laughing at some of the lines or moments in the song. Yeah, I mean, that is something that I also enjoy about watching reaction videos, is that when you know something already and you watch someone else experiencing that for the first time, you know what's coming. You feel the anticipation rising within you, right? So I can relate to that. And I also love that. Hurrikan will just be hilarious. All right. Just found this and I agree with Rick. So, okay. Should we proceed then? And by the way, Mr. King of Florida, hi. Don't know what you wrote because it's drawn back. But anyway, hi. Anyway, we're gonna continue with the penultimate song, the second to last one. Is it Hurrikan? Hurricane? Hurrikan? What is it actually? Let's listen to this one. It's quite short. All right. Guys, I just made my what the fuck? Okay. No. That's spam. Let's listen to Hurrikan by Electric Callboy in 3, 2, 1, play. That's German Schlager at its best. I love it. What is... what the fuck? I'm sorry. What the fuck? Blast beats? What the fuck? Okay, stop. Hurrikan by Electric Callboy. What?
What's that?
Excuse me? Pardon me? Okay, that was truly progressive. Like, wow. I even have to adjust myself, to be within the cam again. Because I got thrown out by the song. Anyway, yeah, that was a Hurrikan. That just happened. That happened. Well, it certainly is a song. It yeah, I mean, it's... Can you call this Schlager metal? I guess you can call this Schlager metal. Schlager is German folk music in the sense of, very, very appealing, very popish. And they certainly played with that stereotype, like that Germans listen to that type of music, Schlager. And those, different types of bands we have in Germany. Die Kastelruther Spatzen, for instance, or Die Amigos, or Hansi Hinterseer, or more modern, actually, like Schlager, more modern Schlager, Helene Fischer, or Florian Silbereisen, those maybe even, older 70-ish, 80s Schlager, Wolfgang Petri, that kind of stuff. Man, that was a trip. That was a real trip. Death Schlager. Wow. And I was, you know what? The funny thing is, even though you can call this a gimmick song, of course you can, in a way, it still featured a highly technical part in the drum department, because this song featured blast beats, like the really slightly offbeat sounding drum pattern, which I didn't expect at all, which is, it's only consequential once again because it's the complete opposite of that spectrum of sound and styles. Pop, Schlager, and blast beat death metal. Like, it's merged. Wow. Wow. Oh boy. I want my grandparents to listen to this song. I want to show them that song. Maybe I should do that. Well, I guess they may at least like half of it. Or maybe also that may sum up their experience of this song. I don't know. Anyway, would David Hasselhoff be considered Schlager? Yeah, sort of, I guess. Pop, yeah. Like, there are certain artists like what's his name? Excuse me. I try to think of his name. Let's see real quick. If I can find it. Don't Pay the Ferryman. What's his name? Don't pay the ferryman. Don't even fix a price. Don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side. Da da da. Don't pay the ferryman. Even though that is more Christa Berg. That's his name. Christa Berg, I was thinking of. Anyway, for instance, his type of music and some of his songs. And also, I guess David Hasselhoff. I would consider him on the edge of being Schlager. He definitely has Schlager sensibilities. Christa Berg, yeah. By the way, Don't Pay the Ferryman is a great song. 80s song. I love it. It's a damn catchy song. Great vocal rhythm as well. Vocal delivery. Don't pay the ferryman. Da 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 da. Anyway, yeah, coming back to Electric Callboy. Hurrikan, yeah, I mean, it's a song that speaks for itself, basically. And I totally love it. I totally do. Thanks, Electric Callboy, for making this happen. Like, I don't know how you actually came to the conclusion that a song like this needs to exist, but I'm glad you did. Yeah. Christian die Burg, Christopher. Oh, Rick, ey. Just for you, Rick. Just for you. Anyway, without further ado, let's listen to the last song on the album. I'm sorry, but it's true. Sad but true. Sad but true. Neon, or Neon, as we say in German. Neon by Electric Callboy. Last song in 3, 2, 1, play. So is this gonna... Alright. Is this gonna be a ballad, maybe? Ooh. This... Wow. Wow. Also, once again, the offbeat hi-hat. Nice. Nice ad-libs. Da, 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 da. All right. That was Neon, or Neon. You know what? That may actually have been one of my favorite songs on the album. And it's definitely one of the more... One of the less gimmicky sounding songs, one of the more serious sounding songs in terms of Electric Callboy, if that makes sense. And it heavily reminded me, I don't know if you are aware of, or if you know the album Living Things by Linkin Park. Keys to the Kingdom and stuff like that, you know? But is it Burn It Down? I think it's called Burn It Down, the song, right? It heavily reminds me of Linkin Park. Also, his vocal tone at times in the chorus, his vocal delivery, reminded me of Chester. I mean, to be fair, the vocal harmony, like the melodic progression, once again talking about that, it's not reinventing the wheel, because we've heard that many times in other songs. But it's beautiful. And it certainly reminds me of Linkin Park, a certain period in that band's discography, especially on Living Things, the album, which was released in 2012, I think, with Burn It Down and stuff like that. The more electronic rock, electronic metal style that they had going on back then. I really dig this. That was a great last track. Wow. That really got me. That last song, wow. I was really impressed by that. Okay, everyone. That was Tekkno by Electric Callboy. My very first time listening to this album. And with the exception of 2-ish songs, I think. Like, yeah, I was familiar with the chorus of Spaceman, but only the chorus. Maybe it has to do with Radio Bob, the German rock metal radio station that I really like to listen to a lot. When I'm at work, for instance, when I'm working and stuff like that, because they play both old and new rock and metal tracks from various artists. And I think they played Spaceman, like that chorus section, in, I don't know if it was like a lottery sort of, like you could win tickets for Electric Callboy at some point, but months ago. And I think because that was familiar, but not the rest of the song. I don't know. And I realized Neon was the only song from Tekkno they didn't play live at the concert I attended. Okay. Man, I gotta say, this song, Tekkno, Neon, that may have been the most, like I said, the most serious sounding song on the album. Like, the most, how to put it? Yeah, maybe I should just leave it at that. But I really enjoy this. Gotta be honest, this whole album is... One does not simply make a bad Electric Callboy album being Electric Callboy. Like, you don't do that. Wow. This was Tekkno. Not in the... I mean, partially, but it was also metal. It was Tekkno metal. Metal. So, my review. And the first thing I want to say, because I want to be honest with you, is I have to make a confession. I got another confession to make. I'm your fool. And I really need to say, for quite a while, and I know, shame, ding, 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 I didn't give Eskimo Callboy or Electric Callboy, back in the day, Eskimo Callboy, a try. I was aware of them, but I really didn't find a way into their style. Because when I listen to music, I usually listen to... I don't know if I would call it serious music most of the time, like meaningful music. Because I don't want to say this is meaningful. I mean, it in its own right, it's very entertaining, of course, and it's very funny, and it's very, like I said, gimmicky in a positive way. But it's not the most serious music, if that makes sense. And once again, I don't mean that in a negative way. Quite the opposite. But truth be told, for a long time, I didn't get this band and their style. I just didn't get it. And I was a little bit... I knew about them, but I avoided them in a way. And in hindsight, sometimes that just happens, If, for instance, like I said, with butter, we butter the bread with butter. I guess they have great songs. I just didn't care to listen to them yet because of that stupid band name. I know it's superficial as hell. I know. But yeah, that's the way it is. Gotta be honest. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy, actually, that I gave Electric Callboy another chance, because I would have missed out big time, because I really enjoy this. To be honest, though, it's, this type of music, I can listen to that often and again and again and again, but I have to be in the right type of mood to listen to this stuff. But I can definitely see myself listening to this a lot of times. And I would love to see them live at some point. definitely. You know, um, like I said, I'm really glad that I got into this album. It has a nice length to it. It's not it it's short, you know, it's like 30 minutes and a half. Like 30 minutes and 31 seconds long. 10 songs. So it's really short. Some people may even say it's not an album, it's like an extended play. It's an EP, but it's actually an album. It's to the point. It has a great production. Sound-wise, you know, really crisp and everything, and really powerful, especially like the pounding bass drum, which stood out to me. Of course, the guitars, the wall of guitars. Also, another thing that reminded me of Linkin Park in the Neon, the last track. The wall of guitar sound that's going on at times heavily reminds me of the early Linkin Park style. You know, Meteora especially, with the diamond chords, the played out chords of guitars, you know, distorted guitars in that sense. It's hard to point out my favorite song, to be honest, because I really like all of them. I'd still say that from the first listen, and this can easily change, Mindreader and Parasite are my least favorite ones yet, like at the moment. Once again, stressing and pointing out that doesn't mean that I dislike the songs. I just say that because in direct comparison to the other songs, they fall a little bit flat to me. But they are still great songs and I like them. And that speaks for the album, like in a positive way as well, because it's very strong for what it wants to be. It would be unfair to judge this album as like a complex, philosophical, progressive journey type of album. It clearly isn't. It clearly doesn't want to be. It wants to be pop metalcore, pop hardcore metal, you know, whatever. Metal flavored with electronica, techno, hip hop, even pop, Schlager, and many more things, I guess. Synthwave, yeah, like some 80s sounds here and there. And all of these things that I just mentioned, I do like. And I also like the mixture of them. So, definitely an awesome album. And I would really honestly thank the band members, the band, for making this, because at the end of the day, I feel like it's albums like these that can make people smile, that can make people have a great time. And if, you know, the thing is, and I think that's the strength of albums like this one, it's either you have a bad day and you listen to something like this in order to get into a better mood. So this music, which is high energy most of the time and, you know, really, really catchy, gets you into a good mood. That's one option. And the second option is you're already in a good mood, and then you listen to this, and then you are even like in a better mood than before, because it really pumps you up. Pump It, you know, the first song, it pumps you up, gives you energy, and so either way, it's a win. I feel like it's a win-win situation listening to this album. And I will listen to this album again and again and again. If there's one criticism that I have, and once again, that doesn't mean that I dislike the songs. I want to stress that because, and I'm going to point that out often and, you know, again and again, because I feel like sometimes people get those things wrong and they get offended by things that aren't meant in an offending way. Some people do, at least, and I don't want that to happen. That is why I stress that. One thing that I guess you could say is a little, how should I put it? The songs, like I said, you can either see this as a strength or as a weakness in a way. I don't mind it necessarily, but I definitely noticed it halfway through the album. And I also mentioned it at one point. The band has a repeating formula. They diverge from it every now and then, especially in the bridges, the breakdown sections. And Neon also, a more serious sounding song, at least, also from the vocal delivery and everything. So there's lots of creativity, lots of nice little arrangement choices, But at the end of the day, that offbeat hi-hat sound at least happens 3 times on the album, like in 3 songs. Nothing wrong with that, but some people may say that's a bit repetitive. And I can relate to that in a way. It is repetitive in a way. But once again, I don't mind it, personally. I like it. But that's one of the only downsides that I could think of, honestly speaking. And, some people may say it's a bit too short. It could be longer. It's just 30 minutes. But then again, it's a modern pop metal album. And many modern albums tend to be shorter than longer, rather. So, which maybe also has to do with the attention span of people these days. But that would go into a rabbit hole that is quite deep. So I'm not going to go there yet at the moment. Anyway, that being said, I especially think the strongest section of the album is probably the first half and the first 4 songs especially. That is an extremely strong section of songs. Pump It, We Got the Moves, Fuckboi, and Spaceman. Those in a row. And then also something like, Arrow of Love, Techno Train, Hurrikan, and Neon. All pretty much for me are on the same level, quality-wise. And then, Mindreader and Parasite slightly below, but still on a very high level. And that basically sums up what I can say about the album. I didn't really talk about the lyrics that much because, like I said, it's not the first thing that I think about or that I pay attention to when I listen to a piece of music for the first time. That's rather something that I tend to listen to the second time that I listen to something new. Fuckboi. Yeah. So, yeah. Ref Jane Smith says, We Butter the Bread with Butter has classics like Schreibwarenfachverkäufer and 20 km/h. I thought the name was silly too, but I learned I can blow out the speakers in my car with them. Yeah, I may have to give them a chance. Yeah. Mike says, you seem to be metal rock orientated. Yeah, for the most part. Do you enjoy the electronica side of German music? Yes. Could you give a few suggestions on some songs to check out if you'd like? German electronica. If you want to go really old school, there's a band called Tangerine Dream. That's awesome. It's not modern electronica. It's more very early electronica. In fact, they are electronic music pioneers, and they paved the way. To say it like that, they lay out the foundation for many other electronica artists to come internationally many years later. Tangerine Dream, awesome stuff, really atmospheric, really ambient heavy, if you're into that. Of course, like Kraftwerk, also another German electronica band, electronic music pioneers worldwide. a more modern, I mean, Scooter, you know, if you like the more techno sound, similar to what, you know, you just heard with Electric Callboy, you know, the steady, upbeat groove, stuff like that. You may enjoy Scooter. It's a bit gimmicky as well, definitely. I mean, H.P. Baxter's lyrics, they are gimmicky, but I love them because they are Dadaistic in a way. They sound, the way he delivers the lyrics in Scooter, it sounds really important because he shouts them. So it sounds like a summoning almost, a ritual kind of. But it's totally gaga lyrics. Like they don't make any sense most of the time, but they sound important. That's the interesting thing about Scooter vocal delivery, like H.P. Baxter, I feel. If you enjoy electronica in a more pop, like electro pop mixture, flavored with a great sense for vocal flow, like not just not just a great vocal melody, but also like a flow to it, a groove. And if you don't mind some hip hop influences, I highly suggest listening to Peter Fox, Love Songs, the album Love Songs by Peter Fox, which was released last year. In fact, I just talked about one of his songs in my most recent video that I uploaded before this one, which is the top 5 German songs released in 2023 and what makes them great. Yeah. That's pretty much, I mean, yeah, maybe I can try to think of more German electronica artists. Let me see. I have an electronica playlist here, if I can find some more. There is Schiller. Right, Schiller, like Schiller, Schiller. Really, really mellow, ambient type of music. Really chill out music in a way, Schiller. Oh, you can see it actually here. This, for instance, Leben, I Feel You with featuring Peter Heppner, beautiful song. Dream of You featuring Peter Heppner. He's a German singer with a really distinct voice. Those two songs are really, really cool. Let's see. This is Kraftwerk. There's L'Âme Immortelle. They are from Austria. They are more like an industrial metal type of band at times. They also have calmer songs like Gezeiten, for instance, which is also beautiful. It's a female-led, like a female singer. Definitely have some more electronic sounds, electronic sounding songs, especially in their early discography. But also Revolution off of the album Monster, for instance, released in 2008. Let's see. But you like the more harder and darker electronica. I don't know if I can deal with that, to be honest. If I can suggest stuff like that. Let's see. All of that is more or less electronica driven, but it's not like German electronica necessarily. I mean, Alphaville, you know, old school 80s synth sounds. German band from Münster. Let's see. Carpenter Brut. I don't know if you know them. They aren't German. They are from, I think he is from France. It's one guy. Turbo Killer. Big suggestion. Big recommendation. I guess you could enjoy this a lot. And also, watch the music video to this, Turbo Killer. Every one of you. If you enjoy electronic music, like melodic, awesome electronic music and highly energetic, Carpenter Brut, Turbo Killer. This is awesome. And also the music video is really cool. yeah, like, I mean, I could scroll through this all day long. That's one of my playlists. Um, this is, yeah, Scooter. It's if you wanna, I can provide you with a link actually. This is my electronica Spotify playlist with 336 songs at the moment. If you want to get a general sense of what I'm listening to, I would recommend my Good Vibes Songs playlist with 4,950 songs in it. Yeah, I know, but you know, yeah, what can I say? Those are the Spotify links to them. And Turbo Killer, I'm gonna post that into the chat real quick. Man, I want to listen to that song now. Love it. It's instrumental, by the way. Where is it? There it is. So maybe this is something for you. Another criticism is that the album is ended. Yeah, that's true. Jan, thank you for another sincere and fun review. You're welcome, Yvonne, Manguide. And thanks for tuning in. And Alistair61, I love the channel. Thank you very much. And thanks for being here, everyone. I really... Oh, by the way, one more, because I just saw it in the corner of my eye. If you enjoy a more pop electronica sound featuring the voice that I just mentioned, Peter Heppner, the singer that collaborated with Schiller, Wolfsheim, Once in a Lifetime, late 90s song, 98 I think it was. He has a very, like I said, a very distinct sounding voice. You either like it or you don't, but I really do like it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for today, for this album reaction. Hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed listening to this album, Tekkno. And I can't wait to listen to more Electric Callboy in the future. And most likely, I'm gonna react to more of their songs in the future on this channel. And I may also have more album listening parties for some of their work and many other bands, maybe, at some point, you know. So feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this. Feel free to like, to share my stuff, because that also helps a whole lot. And you can find other very interesting links, dare I say, in the video description to my socials and to support options such as Patreon. You can support me on patreon.com/definitely. That is a great help as well. And that being said, of course, at the end of this stream, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. And I also want to thank my, you may have guessed it, my YouTube channel members. Because you can also become a YouTube channel member. And there was something wrong with the green color key. Anyway, thanks to you guys for supporting me. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having tuned in. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great weekend. Have a great day, great night, great morning, great noon, great afternoon, great pre-noon, great life. Yeah. Anyway, pump it, I'd say. Tschüss.